Generation X had some of the coolest novelty Christmas albums of all time, and I'm going to share my absolute favorite with you right now.
Don't you know that you're a grown up? No games, no puns. Not allowed if you're a grown up.
Hey, welcome back to Gen X Grown Up. I'm John. I am a Gen X Grown Up. Thanks for checking out this video and the rest of the channel. I'm sure if you grew up as a Generation Xer, you probably have your favorite Christmas album or albums or songs. As well, you should. I certainly do, and something I'm always trying to do is share my favorite Christmas album with people who have never heard of it. And luckily, the pool of people who have never heard of it is huge because it's a little-known album. So this is an album by a company called Big N, the Neisner Corporation, now totally bankrupt and defunct and closed. 1976, they put out Christmas is for Kids. Now, it's a challenge to figure out how to talk about a record on a video. And in fact, what I'm going to do is reference you ultimately to a podcast episode that we did all about this album.
Joining me, as always, is George.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
And Mo.
Hey, everybody.
This episode, we're going to get into the Christmas spirit as I introduce Mo and George, and hopefully you, fourth listener, to what was my absolute favorite Christmas album as a kid.
I introduced both Mo and George to this album. I shared some of the most novel tracks with them and played them in their entirety while they kind of laughed at me and talked over it. If you'd like to hear that, I'll put a link up in the corner where you can check out that entire podcast. And in fact, if you haven't ever listened to our podcast before, you know, this is a great time. It's the holidays. You haven't heard it before. It's all new to you. It's been running for more than 2 years now. It's great topics just like you see on our YouTube channel, and that's easy to find. There's a link down in the description of this video where you can find more about our podcast. But very briefly in this video, I'll tell you about a couple of the cool songs on here that always grabbed me and that I listen to every year no matter what. One of them is called Donner and Blitzen. And everybody's heard of Rudolph as kind of the premise, and you know his story. But this is a story about, like an origin story about Donner and Blitzen. How they got their name, how they got on Santa's team, which I always thought was really cool. Why does Rudolph get all the attention? Yeah, why not?
Once upon a long ago in a place not far from here lived Percival and Chauncey, two very shy reindeer. Both of them had one desire, every night they both would pray. We hope someday that Santa will let us pull his sleigh. All the other reindeer.
Speaking of wanting to be on Santa's team, another great track from this album is about a moose named Morris who wants nothing more than to get a chance to pull Santa's sleigh.
I'm Morris the Moose. Morris the Moose, that's me. I'm big and strong and I can run fast as a reindeer or anyone. But who is always left out of the fun? Me, Morris the Moose.
And in case Morris the Moose isn't cheesy enough for you, how about Roly Poly the Polar Bear?
Hey, look right over there. It's Roly Poly the Polar Bear. Happy and a cookie as a clown, I swear. Roly Poly the Polar Bear.
Another one on Christmas is for Kids that I can't get enough of is a song called The Day Before the Night Before Christmas, which is Christmas Eve, you get it, but the song is about this kid saying, hey, tomorrow's Christmas, I have one more day to be good, so Santa will bring me toys. And there's another kid in the song that it kind of explains, that's not the way it works, you gotta be good all year round. Anyway, it's really a charming song. Here's a little sample of that one.
It's the day before the night before Christmas.
And I'm busy being good.
On the day before the night before Christmas.
Gonna do everything a good boy should. I'm making up a list about 10 pages long. I'm on page 10 now and still going strong.
It's the day before the night before Christmas.
And I'm busy being good.
Again, awesome. And that's just a couple of the songs on this album. There's 7 original songs you've never heard before, and then 5 that are kind of, traditional, your Jingle Bells and your Frosty and things like that. But it's great. It's a slice of 1976. It's so innocent. It's so charming. It's kind of corny, but that's part of why I like it, I think. Look, if you would like to hear more of it, again, check out that podcast episode that I'll link below. Also, if you're one of our patrons, support us over on patreon.com, you can get it for free. You can download the whole album. There's a link there you'll unlock. And I'll put a link up in the corner how to find Patreon, and there's always a link at the end of our videos if you want to support us. But either way, it's just something I want to share with people that enjoy the content we put out. It's something that I love. Odds are you might like it, or tolerate it, or hate it. I don't know. But check it out if you'd like. Thanks for watching this video. I surely hope you found something to enjoy, and maybe this cool album. I'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye. GenXGrownUp is dedicated to bringing you new Generation X inspired videos every week. Here are a couple more you can watch right now, but for even more, subscribe and enable those notifications. And if you love what we do, we invite you to support us over on Patreon. And of course, your feedback in the comments and a quick thumbs up are always appreciated.